Mr. Goyal, if you just look back at this 1 year, when it first came that India was getting the G20 presidency, there were those who said, well, you know, this happens and it's a routine thing. But India in this 1 year has really redefined what the G20 presidency means. We've just heard Ms. Amitabh Kant say, in a sense, the G20 under India's presidency is now more powerful than the UN Security Council. Is this a sign of India not accepting the current global way that multilateral organizations are run, that there has to be reform and India has to be the center stage of that reform when we look at global organizations?
Well, very clearly, Prime Minister Modi, ever since 2014-15, when India played a very important role at the Paris summit, at COP21, and helped bring the world together to agree on the Paris declarations, has over the last several years taken a leadership role, bringing together the global south, the less developed countries, the developing and emerging economies, and provided voice to their aspirations and their future. We saw that on several forums. We saw that at the WTO MC12 held in Geneva last year, where an almost collapsed WTO ministerial was retrieved thanks to the guidance given by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the leadership that we were able to demonstrate. And all of this centers around trust. What Prime Minister Modi has done is earned the trust for India from the rest of the world. And that trust is certainly the defining factor of our G20 presidency. As was just mentioned, the G20 grouping represents nearly 85% of the world's GDP. In fact, only yesterday at the B20 summit, which is also very, very widely represented by 55 countries who have participated in our B20, probably the largest business engagement that India has seen in so many years. We had 15 trade ministers on one stage, representing, I think, nearly 80 to 85 trillion dollars of global economy. And that is the power, that is the strength that India has offered to the world. The fact that we can bring diverse opinions on one stage, we can collectively agree on almost every issue related to trade and industry, amongst other things. And the fact that despite all the challenges that the world is facing, India has been able to save and accept the geopolitical issue, bring convergence in all our tracks, convergence on issues, bring a new dimension to the future, and offer to the world a stage, a platform, which will help redefine the boundaries of world growth, redefine the potential of international trade. And in that sense, the leadership role that India has achieved is true testimony to the sheer grit and potential of 140 crore Indians.